Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Completionist playthrough of Diablo 2 on Hardcore. In this episode, we can get into the gameplay almost straight away. I just want to quickly address two things. First off, we need to do the Act 1 summary I forgot to do at the end of the last episode, so just to be thorough, let's take a look that we've of course flagged all of the waypoints and completed all of the quests in Act 1 while killing all of the super uniques along the way. And the second thing is that I've realized I haven't really showcased the charms I decided to equip in our inventory, so I'm just going to scroll through them so that you can take a look. As you can see, some of them are pretty bad. They are from as far back as normal difficulty, but I've just wanted to aim to give us as many life and resistance charms for maximum survivability. And with all that said, we can get into the action right away, and I suppose we're going to start things off the traditional way of getting rid of Rediment and seeing what the game gives us here in the sewers. Alright, not much in terms of special groups right away, but we do get a very quick exit to level 2, but I would like to fight some stuff. To elaborate on another point that I've thought through in between recordings, I decided to kind of continue with the trend we've seen in Act 1 Hell, and basically throughout the whole playthrough. So nothing is going to really change, but I thought that it would, that my approach would be different on Hell, and I would be a little bit more lenient on that kind of thing, of fighting our way through the acts. I thought I would skip past more content, more dangerous groups, and all that stuff, just because of the danger level here on Hell. But I thought about it a little bit more, and I decided that it just wouldn't be a satisfying way of completing the run, completing this game that way. It is a completionist playthrough after all, so I want us to fight our way through those acts, even on Hell. I don't want to just chain teleport, because that kind of approach would be valid even with our completionist objectives. We could just chain teleport and fly past everything to the next relevant location, do what we need to do, and move on. But I don't want to just do the bare minimum. I want to have a more satisfying, more complete experience of all of those acts on Hell. So of course we're going to stop to fight things more often, which of course increases the risks, increases the danger level and the chance of our death, but I never guaranteed I was going to make reasonable, rational decisions here. But yes, like I said, I think it's going to be better for the playthrough, it's going to be more fitting. So we're always going to get a feel for each location. We're going to see the opponents that inhabit every area and try to fight them like a proper hero would. We don't want to just skip the content the game offers us here. We don't want to leave these monsters be, or leave them to their own devices. Okay, and we're actually getting pretty good luck with these special groups. Okay, not that lucky with finding the exit, but we see a decent density of monsters, so let's take advantage of that. Let's get some fighting done. Let's place Emilio here so he can lifesteal off of some of the living opponents. Especially when he's poisoned, that's going to wear him down. Alright, we do have the exit, but of course we need also precisely this, the waypoint. Now we are truly done with this level. And let us finally go on our search for Rediment. We're not really finding anyone. This level 3 is pretty empty so far. Alright, that's more like it. Here we see some opposition. And of course we have amplified damage already. That's not a good sign. Especially for Emilio, who cannot life leech off of these undead. But let's try to push it a little bit more. Before we have to get rid of amplify damage. It's actually pretty easy and pretty quick, because after using a town portal, Atma is very close, and we can get rid of curses by speaking to her. So it is extreme laziness that I'm not willing to do that, and you know what? Seeing that conviction there, and I think some mages, that is going to be really tough on Emilio if we keep him with that amplified damage. So let's not be so cruel to our buddy. Let's not put him in so much pain, especially since, as I will elaborate a little bit later, this is going to be a really tough act for Emilio in some places. Yeah, we already see him getting hurt. Our poor Emilio. You really get to like care for your mercenary friend here in this game. In this game. Unfortunately, not a gem shrine. Would be nice to get some of those perfect amethysts already along the way, instead of specifically farming for those gem shrines that I'm going to have to do later. Alright. Some more stuff for us to deal with. I like. Getting some experience with it. And amplify damage again. Of course, that's a classic on hell. But let us not get disheartened because of that. Oh, here's Radamant already. He was so close to the entrance all this time. We just explored the exact wrong way. And because of that amplify damage, especially, let's take things slow. And where is he? Where is he hiding? Oh, he tucked himself away in the corner. You cannot hide, Radamant. Alright, I really don't want to get hit by anyone, any of those monsters sneaking up on me here with that amplify damage on. Alright, there you go, buddy. Let's just get that book of skill, use that, and pick up our stuff. Maybe even these things to sell. And what do we have here? Maybe war boots, but we don't have... Okay, we do have the space. Alright, and now we're done. We can get our reward and complete our first quest already. Alright, officially done. Now let's get some identifies going and free up some space.
How may I help you?
Yes, I know about your vast knowledge, Farah. Alright, some gold here. And these war boots, of course, were not... They are strong, apparently, but we didn't have enough space, of course. Alright, and we have things positioned as they were. So now finally we can get out into the world and start out our trek through the desert sands. And in those areas we're kind of going to see, we're going to experience the duality, that's experience, right? The duality of Act 2, especially when it comes to going through it with a permanent mercenary. Act 2 on Hell is going to have a pretty spiky difficulty curve. Because these outdoor areas are going to be much more chill. They are going to be our relief, our respite. While the underground areas of all of the tombs and crypts we're going to visit are going to be much more unforgiving. And that is because of a couple of reasons. Of course, when it comes to these outdoor areas, they are much more open, we have more space to maneuver, and Emilio has plenty of creatures to lifesteal off of. And when it comes to the underground crypt areas, well, they are the exact opposite. They are cramped spaces with narrow corridors. They are infested by undead, so Emilio doesn't really have anything, if at all, or like not many creatures, if at all any. I said that in a pretty horrible way, but you know what I mean. There's not that much that he can lifesteal off of. And of course, we don't have as many, as much space to maneuver. Some of our spells, like Freezing Orb, are going to be less likely to deal their full value of damage in such tight, narrow spaces. Right, we have one such tomb here. They're generally more higher level, higher area level than the outdoor ones, so the general danger level of monsters is just naturally going to be higher. And here at least we have the beetles, so Emilio, well, he is going to be pretty vulnerable to their charged bolts, but at least with his attacks he can heal up. And also these tombs, it's not really going to be this, I'm constantly teleporting back so that Emilio can get back to safety and not be completely surrounded by monsters. But yeah, especially when it comes to the later tombs, when the mummies start showing up, that's going to be where the real trouble is going to start. Because of some conflicting resistances, the mummies very often have a different type of immunity than their minions. And I think that happens, from what I remember, the most at the end of this act. That is going to be brutal for Emilio and for us in general, because at the end, I think the mummies are cold immune and their skeletal minions are fire immune. So they are going to require a completely different response out of us. And considering that Frozen Orb and Meteor are cooldown skills, you can't really do that quick of a cleanup everywhere. And of course we'll see that situation more as we go on, but yeah, in these outdoor areas we can be a little bit more relaxed, but here I am going to try to concentrate a little bit more. Well, I was thinking about these wormhide boots. Let's take them. Boots aren't exactly our most stellar slot when it comes to our equipment, so let's keep trying. Even magical boots could be pretty decent. Alright, and here's our friend Creeping Feature, I think. The reason why we are here in this tomb, putting ourselves through this much pain. Alright, there he is. These areas, not only this tomb but others as well, are hell for a poison necro, as you can see with all of these poison immune monsters. Anyway, I think we can just exit just the way we came. We've had a very short journey through that stony tomb. These cats are kind of similar to the rogues from Act 1 in the sense that they are going to have all kinds of different resistances over the course of our journey here in Act 2. Of course, we've used the Book of Skill, but I haven't placed the skill into Fireball. I think we're like 3 levels away from maxing it out. That is nice. And then our next priority is going to be some Fire Mastery and some Firebolt. And I think after we respec, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on the differences between maxing one over the other. I think we have our exit there, but let's just kill a few more things here on play. Fortunately, no special groups. I guess let's not prolong our stay here in the rocky waste and just move on, progress. Here we have a special group. We are immediately rewarded for our willingness to press on. Okay, some more stuff. I like. Now these cats, as you can see, are going to have all types of immunities and sometimes even no immunities, so it's as far as variety goes in that regard, I guess. Devil Fester. Uncle Fester the Devil. I'm not even going to get that bow. Oh, we've had what we needed under our nose all this time. Let's assess the danger level here. We have some cold immunes. All right, we have a lot of guys. Apparently a lot of healing that we need to give to Emilio, especially if he's fighting the undead guys instead of the kitties. The spear cat. Right, I think we have to just quickly deposit some stuff. Well, I could have just gotten rid of that mana potion, I guess. Anyway, I've tidied up our stash in between recordings too. So we have a fresh page. Actually, let's get a full heal here for Emilio. And let's go. I wanted that flawless diamond. And possibly... Alright, not much else. Another special group. Right, let's just punch them up here. Emilio. Alright, Emilio needs to chill out a little bit outside of the enemy's attacks. Or away from them. Spiderweb sash.
Impossible.
Possible imbue? Maybe? Although I think we're going to do circlets primarily, but we'll see about that once the time comes. We do have space for that. At level 82, I don't know if I should even hold on to that. There aren't really any possible rerolls I would want to do on that thing. But anyway, let's just keep it. It won't sell for much either, but we can just deposit it in our stash and see how things go from there. Right, now we also have some fire immune bats. And of course the priority targets, the mummies, are here already. Fortunately these ones are just lightning immune, so whatever we are using on the other stuff they are going to get affected by as well. Rune staff could sell, but we're not really pressured for money. I went this way in our exploration, of course, because of the waypoint. We needed to go left from the entrance to find the exit to level 3, but of course we first need to find the waypoint. Kind of the natural thing of, or the natural method, natural way I kind of end up doing some of these rooms is to just kind of lure the minions away from the mummies, clearing them out along the way, and once the mummies are kind of deprived of their bodyguards, we can just go in and deal with them. Alright, there we go. Nothing special there. Okay, now we can go to the exit, and it's right there. Alright, now of course we have Blood Witch, the whatever. I've managed to highlight her for a moment. Because of this amplified damage, I am not going to... Okay, Blood Witch the Wild. Let's actually give a full rejuve to Emilio. Because he's in for a rough time in these underground areas for sure. Right, here's of course where the Horadric Cube would be. But for us, we do have this ring and Flawless Diamond. Alright, and now we can go back. Get rid of this amplified damage. Do some inventory management.
Good evening.
You have a great treasure there. Of course. Level 85 with plus 15 all res. Alright, that is something to even think about. Here we have 5 all res and 27 life, so I think all in all this is still more worthwhile, but let's just get it in there. And let's empty our cube and see what we got there. +1 sorceress skill levels. Unfortunately, nothing more than that. We get the same thing from our lore. But that's interesting. That kind of shows a little bit of the capabilities of... Alright, 12 fire res, whatever. A little bit more of the capabilities of circlets. And we're going to talk more about that at length once we get into the topic of imbuing. But circlets are pretty amazing when it comes to their potential. Alright, let's now chill a little bit in these outdoor areas. Let's hang out here for a while. Well, we will, because now we're done with those underground tombs for a moment. I think we've kind of experienced our quota of special groups at the beginning of this area. They are not really showing up much more. Alright, and here's the far oasis. I'm going to be checking those ruins areas in search of our boy Beetleburst, of course. Oh, could it be? Could it be our boy already? Yes, here it is. Here he is, the one and only Beetleburst. And we need to get Emilio out of there. There we go. One of our objectives completed again. Emilio, get to the task at hand. Don't dilly-dally, don't get stuck on this rubble. There are monsters to be defeated. Alright, kind of whatever at this point. Another special group. Another amplify damage. How wonderful. This is just one of those things you love about Hell difficulty. Alright, we're affected by amplify damage and we're fighting creatures with fanaticism. The reasonable thing to do, of course, would be to get rid of amplify damage, but they deal mostly... You know, I'm not even going to say anything. Everything's fine, as you can see. I didn't want that. I wanted that super healing potion. So we're not affected by amplify damage anymore. See, it worked itself out. Everything's fine, dude. Alright, here we have the maggot lair, but let me first find the waypoint. Alright, gem shrine. That's nice. That is going to prompt me to actually go back and get some stuff done when it comes to our gems. Alright, now let's get ourselves a flawless amethyst. And get ourselves a perfect one instead. Very nice. Anything? Right, not a special group. Alright, these bugs insist on being special in this edition of Far Oasis. Seed white. At least get a full rejuve out of him. Yeah, these birds, unfortunately they're not too experience rich, so... Well, nothing really is in this edition of Far Oasis. We don't have the beetles. So nothing really stands out in the amount of experience it grants, but anyway. Flawless Emerald we can pick up. I know that I sometimes miss items on the ground, but you can be sure that I did see that set helmet and I'm deliberately not picking it up. Where is that waypoint man? Am I blind also when it comes to that? Oh, here it is. Alright. We found everything. We know where the exit is from the far oasis, and we of course know where the dreaded maggot lair is, and of course we're going to also fight things deliberately here as well. Because I make bad decisions in this game. A bit of a focused mindset here. Excuse me for not talking all that much, but those are area levels 84 here in the maggot lair. And that coupled with the usual... oh man. With the usual grievances I have with this place, well... Let's make ourselves some space. Alright, Emilio getting distracted by some lone beetle. Right, there's a lot of things that are messing up our groove here. But I think if we clear out this pretty juicy room, we're going to be pretty satisfied with our exploration here. And I think we're also going the right way anyway for the exit. Should be somewhere down here. Now there's also a level that we need to do. Alright. Here we have the exit. Let's get some more vitality and let's get fireball. Yeah, 2 more levels of fireball. And we're going to have that maxed out. Well, let's actually use that choke point, that doorway, to our advantage here. Let's not be out there in the danger zone. Devil Bender is no more. Get bent, Devil Bender. Alright, well, we have to do it things like that. Another juicy room. Let's try it out. Actually, let's make more use of this choke point, I guess. Let's take it seriously. Emilio's life is at stake here.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright, whatever. We have a million chipped skulls anyway. I'm just going to leave it. Alright, and the final level of the maggot lair is area level 85, so... not something that you would do to farm stuff, but it does signify that the danger level is at its max. I do want to clear out that room, but we have to do it methodically. And of course with enemies sneaking up on us from every which way and us having no healing potions, this is going to delay our success in the maggot lair for just a moment longer. Do you have something to identify? Yes, we do. Let's just deposit some of this stuff. Our perfect amethyst goes right there. Oh, we just had this. Another 5% FHR. We don't need that exactly. What we need is Lysander's services. Whoa, ho, ho. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't expect that in the slightest, man. It's, oh my god. If we fail this run now, I am going to be
Impossible.
so mad. Jesus Christ, another trip to town, huh? But the Monarch, of course, is the ultimate prize, and it's also takes so much space in our cube that we couldn't really stash anything else in there. But look at this beauty. This shield that can hold up to 4 open sockets once we use Larzuk's socket reward on it. Of course, as you can see, required strength 156. We are going to elaborate on everything regarding the Monarch and our plans for it after we are done with this act, I think. Because right now, let's just keep on going. I'm going to prepare a nice kind of crafty episode, I think, with the Monarch, with the imbues, and some amulet crafting, I think. A little bit later. Alright, here we're coming up on that final room. Pretty crowded in there. But anyway, this is such a lucky drop that we just managed to find the Monarch along the way. I won't have to specifically farm for it. I think after we're done with Act 2, I'm still going to do some farm runs in the pit and ancient tunnels, just like I planned, just to get some leveling up done. Because we will certainly have a use for some levels before we engage into Act 3 hell and onwards. But that really is something very unexpected. An unexpected turn of events, for sure. Still debating picking some stuff up from here, but anyway, we're fine. Everything is fine after the acquisition of that Monarch. Well, item level 88, circlet, because of course area level 85 and a unique monster giving it a +3 boost.
Tell me your troubles.
Alright, where are you, Atma? Why do you force me to go so deep into that tavern? Alright, and then we're done of course with the maggot lair. My thoughts are all over the place because I'm still experiencing the endorphin boost coming from that Monarch find. But let's get back on track here. Let's get down to business. Let's experience the exit light, enter night scenario here in the Lost City and finish our objectives here. Looks like we're greeted by some special guys already. That's nice. Flawless diamond. And some refills we can do. I saw something over there. Oh, it's just cats that are immune to lightning this time. We can deal with them however we want. course, exploring kind of thoroughly because we have the Dark Elder to take care of here. We need to find the ancient tunnels, the waypoint, so quite a few things to do along the way. And of course, as said previously, we do want to get some fighting done. And no special groups, even though these creatures were so plentiful that I thought there might be something a little bit more interesting in there. Alright, here's the ancient tunnels. We're going to get to some business down there soon. Having trouble with finding... Okay, this is not the Dark Elder yet. That tree actually proved to be a major obstacle when it comes to our line of sight. But we got stuff done. Of course, we are rewarded with another amplify damage. Oh. But our exploration is rewarded with a well that allows us to cure it. Very nice. Alright, we've found the way to the Claw Viper Temple. We have the waypoint now. Dark Elder, my man. Where are you hiding? Are you going to be as elusive as Beetle Burst has been in this playthrough? That is his thing. Alright, now we have the Dark Elder. Alright, we don't care about your plentiful immunities, Dark Elder. You are no more. Now let's check out the ancient tunnels. Another level 85 area. It has no innate cold immunes here. So that's something working into our advantage. We can just freely spam some freezing orbs and they are always going to do something. Unless, of course, we have a special monster with cold enchanted, being able to give them that cold immunity. But it is a level 85 area, so it is not to be taken lightly, especially since it has mages with conviction. But of course, mages in general, elemental damage means that Emilio is going to have a tough time, and we've gotten the selection of monsters that doesn't allow him to lifesteal again. Right, Emilio, you need a full rejuve and an evacuation move. Oh man, Emilio, of course I'm trying to give you a healing potion that we didn't have under number 2 there. I think that was partially the source of your troubles. Anyway, there is a possible spawn, the creature type that's sometimes called the Invader, the Infidel. We've seen these guys, the cold immune guys from outdoors here in the Lost City. They are of course living creatures, so it's not like you always have nothing for Emilio to life leech off of, but this set of enemies here certainly doesn't allow him to have any fun. Nothing that's impressive. Nothing worth wasting our time over. That was a charm drop. There is potential always when it comes to charms, and it's a grand charm at that. We don't even have to check it out in our Horadric cube, but it is way worse than already suboptimal grand life charms that we're using. So unfortunate. But anyway, we have no right to complain about anything this episode when it comes to finding that monarch. Even though, you know, like, my mindset from, like, the absolute beginning of this playthrough, like, I knew I would have to farm for that monarch so much.
It is an honor to serve you.
And then it just drops along the way, you know? It's like, The expectations when it comes to this run have been subverted so many times and in such fashion that is compared to Season 8 Game of Thrones, I think. Well, maybe not that bad. Let's not invoke those bad memories here. But yes, definitely I wasn't prepared for the unexpected quite as much as I needed to, apparently. Here we have some cooler guys. Shadow plate. Alright, let's also check back here. Starmane, the Jagged. Your name was not that cool. I'm not only going to kill you, but also insult your name. And we're going to pre-pot Emilio here with some healing. Gorbang, slightly better. Small charm again. And the chest. Okay, we don't have to use our cube, we don't have to utilize that. Anyway. Alright, Kane, I know. We do have that nice treasure in the form of... Oh, fire resist 10. Now that's more like it. I'm just going to keep it here and maybe rework some charms in between recordings to make our setup a little bit more optimal, because of course that... Well, let's just heal up here with Emilio. That of course puts us above the 75%. So perhaps we can free up some inventory space by removing some worse charms. Of course, small charms when it comes to resistances go up to 11%. So this is a nice one. Almost the max roll. We are getting somewhere. But now we are in a true danger zone. Now these claw vipers with their charges... Oh, where am I going? We need to go left. This is going to be an area where we need to be on our full awareness level here. So excuse me, okay, branching paths is not too good, but it is to be expected, of course, on these larger levels. Fortunately, we're not meeting too many of these claw vipers. But with their charges, they can even give Emilio a hard time. And not to mention our little sorceress Nasharin, who just isn't capable of taking too much of that kind of abuse. Unfortunately, we're not meeting too many of these claw vipers. I like that. But we have to be on our guard, that's for sure. We have to be cautious. As always. Alright, let's actually take it a little bit more seriously. Let's pre-meteor there and use that choke point. Of course, like I mentioned, not the most reasonable decision, but we do want to fight our way through the various places of this game. I might regret it if we don't make it out of here alive. But for now, we are still alive and kicking. We're still in the game. And this was a pretty juicy room here. It is a little bit too juicy, I think, to stay in the open like that. Let's just take it slow. And again, I'm trying to use healing potions that we don't have. Alright. Alright, it seems like we have emerged from this situation, well, I won't say unscathed, but we're going to have a safe zone, at least. And this is a crowdy level 2. Even mummies decided to make their appearance here. Alright, Fangskin's group of course needs to go. I'm going to prioritize that. And then we're going to check up on those mummies. Unfortunately, we're not safe from the skeletons up there. They are not as robust when it comes to their stature, and they actually can climb the stairs. But no worries, I think the main danger, Fangskin is dead. These mummies, of course, need to be fire immune in an area where everything is cold immune. But anyway, we are in the clear, I think. Or at least we're getting there. Getting more and more into the clear. Alright. No problem. Oh, we are rewarded with a rare ring. Here. Can replenish a lot of our supplies just like that. We get the Amulet of the Viper here, of course. Transmute that. Alright, I think this is going to be enough excitement for today. I mean, you can say whatever you want about the danger levels, the unnecessary danger that I'm bringing onto ourselves, but this, I do feel it was a good decision to do it this way and to you know, to fight our way through. This is more exciting, more satisfying, more completionist, I guess. Anyway, not much here. Alright, let's take a look here. 30 lightning resist, and basically nothing else. A bit of an unfortunate turn of events, but of course, look at this beauty here. We are going to get to that. We are going to get to it very soon. So, an unexpected arrival of the Monarch, but like I said, yes, I think this is going to be a good place to take a break. And we're going to continue our trek through, well, not quite much the desert anymore, but other arcane and magical places in the next episode. So for now, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I thank you for watching, and see you next time.